thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I have a very special guest out here, Motorcycle and Powersports News fam, and this is Mr. Dong Tran, who is the president, CEO, founder, Big Cheese, at a very cool new EV company called Rivid. Welcome to the show, Dong.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. It's
You're
nice to be
very,
here.
you're very, Thank you so much. If you can go ahead really quickly and just let us know, I made a joke of it at the beginning, but what is your official title over at Rivid?
Yeah, so the official title is CEO. I'm actually one of the founders. There's three of us. I'm one of three, and my official title is currently CEO.
All right. Can you give us a little bit of background about how we got to be here? How did Rivid get to be here? I know it's a fascinating backstory.
Yeah, so Rivet started way back in 2017. Right? When I had my own company, we did consultancy for other people, designed different products and transportation, automotive, and power sports as well. And that's when kind of the idea got sparked. Uh, we went stealth mode for 4 years actually, when we all did different things, continued to work on it, and then in 21 we found someone that actually launched us into um, creating a company, right? Provided the seed funding and got us to where we are today. Company is a mobile sport company, so we call it mobile sport, not instead of power sports, because really at the core of it, we are a mobility company, right? A micro mobility company. We design everything from two wheels, three wheels, four wheels, everything except for cars. Right? We go all the way up to that threshold and then stop. And the Anthem really is a launch product for us because realistically, it was the easiest or the quickest to get to market, right? And for us to be successful later on, we needed to launch a product and launch an accessible product. So the company is all about building accessible products that live in the EV micromobility space. And so you'll be seeing more products as we go that are not motorcycles, but they're all
Oh,
going to be mobile products.
can you give us a sneak peek of what's going to be coming down the pipeline from you?
Yeah, like I mentioned, three and four wheels are included. So you'll be seeing different types of motorcycles, different types of smaller, narrow, lower, smaller footprint vehicles that are three and four wheels, and we'll expand all the way into the power sports realm where it is off-road only. So currently we have an on-road capable, DOT approved and NHTSA approved motorcycle, but we'll get into a space where you can go off-road, do adventure riding that are not non-licensed products. So that's coming
Very
up.
cool. What is the time frame for that? And what do you have coming up for 2023?
We're currently focused on production. The bike you see behind me is actually one of the first production motorcycles that are coming off the line here. We're finishing up our tooling, and by May/June we'll be delivering our first product. So that's the main focus right now for the first half of 23. The second half, or ongoing, is R&D efforts. That's really been going on for the last 4 years, anyways. But we're gonna really step up R&D efforts for the future products. Some are built off of the platform you see behind me. Uh, we call it platform because this does serve multiple products, not just the Anthem. And then there are three and four wheel platforms that we're navigating right now for 23. Uh, on top of that, we're expanding, right? As you know, we just got the grant from California, and so a big part of that is to expand our operations in Southern California. We'll put up manufacturing facilities and also retail locations in Orange County and Los Angeles. So, we're direct to consumer, but we will have a physical space that you can come in and see the bike, ride around, and before you purchase.
Very cool. Is there a thought in your head of expanding to a nationwide dealership type situation? Are you staying direct to consumer?
We're taking a hybrid approach. Everything's under NDA right now, but we are talking to a very big nationwide network. Uh, yes, so the answer is yes. We do have, we want to penetrate the market as quick as we can, right? Because as it goes, there's a lot of players in this space, and there's going to be a lot of players in 23, 24. So our goal is to get brand awareness out there as quick as we can. And really, direct to consumer is great, but really the only way to get there quick is to network with dealerships and distributors to get your product across the country as soon as you can. Our business model allows that. We built in enough margin to actually withstand, the losses or the smaller margin from a distributor standpoint. So it's going to allow us to grow a lot quicker by doing that.
Super interesting. I did notice, we did talk about that grant from the state of California. How challenging was it to secure that? And what exactly does that mean for your company?
Yeah, so I think those grants are extremely challenging for any company, right? And most companies are very big that apply for the grant. I think for us, it's a matter of the right timing, right? And having the right grant writer. As you know, people typically hire their own grant writers, and I think writing our own helped us in a way because that never happens. Companies don't write their own grant proposals. We have a gentleman that joined the company. He's actually one that provided the seed funding for us initially. He was a lead investor in our angel round. He happened to be a submarine commander back in his days, and one of his jobs was to request for grants, right? Go for government grants. He really got the company, and he understood deeply in what we're all about. Wrote it up, and through his different connections and through the way that we were able to write the grant, California is hungry for this stuff right now, right? A lot of companies are leaving California, and so I think having us stay here and actually build up manufacturing capabilities here to actually hire local is really important. So
that's a great point. And I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Sorry for interrupting. That this awesome partnership of yours is going to allow you to have a lot more production capability in Southern California, which means a lot more jobs. So I was really excited to hear about that when I caught the press release for that a couple of months ago. So congratulations on that. A very exciting opportunity. We're all going to be waiting to check that out. One of the last things I wanted to pick your brain about, however, is also a little bit current news related. I broke the news last week or so here on the Throttle program about Royal Enfield partnering with Stark Mobility based in Spain. Is there a thought process for your company to partner with a much larger or different company that's in this space?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Stark, right? I think a lot of people are. What they're doing is amazing. So that news is super welcome because the space for venture capital for micromobility is not that great, right? So to see that the valuation that they got from that investment is huge for the space, right? For us to get the grant is big for the space. So I feel like there's a lot of momentum brewing. So we have been approached by a couple of bigger companies to do that. For us, we're pretty early. We have barely launched, right? So we're going to take our time and try to build up the business as much as we can and see where that heads. But everything's open for the future, right? If the partnership makes sense and if the two companies are on the same path, if we think the same, then I don't see why not.
Yeah. Dong, I just wanted to ask you also, there is occasionally, especially out here on the internets, some pushback from more internal combustion engine fans. What do you have to say to those folks that are a little on the fence about EV?
Yeah, I feel them. I've been riding since I was 15. I live and breathe petrol and I build cars, I build motorcycles. I'm a complete nerd when it comes to IC engines, right? But to me, the product that we're making is not to compete with that, right? We're not calling ourselves even a motorcycle company. We don't really go out there and say, oh, we're going to compete with all these different motorcycles because that's not the point of this vehicle. The Anthem is made for you to actually get around, right? It happens to look like a motorcycle and feel exciting when you ride it, but really the ease of use from an electric drivetrain allows many people to get on and ride, not just the motorcyclists, right? Because that's really to be able to open up the market and really make change. we have to open it up to a lot of people, right? Not too many hardcore motorcyclists out there, believe it or not, right?
Yeah.
They tend to be the most vocal, as I am, but I think in general, to get to and from work very efficiently is a great thing, and that's what the anthem
Yeah.
is really meant for. So
That's awesome. And
I think,
I couldn't agree. Oh, sorry. Go right ahead.
yeah, I was just going to add that, EV is a whole different experience, and until you really ride it, it's impossible to really do a comparison, right? I think
Yeah.
the idea of having a loud engine, the idea of this 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, that all is great. But in an EV, it feels very different. Our 0 to 60 time is not super fast, right? It's like 7, 8 seconds. It's nothing. But from 0 to 30 feels really different. And I think that's the comparison to make, is get on the bike, feel how it is, and then make the comparison or not, right? It's just a whole different animal.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. We do talk about EV an awful lot here on the Throttle Show because it's not the future, it's the present, it's the here, it's the right now. I completely agree
Yeah.
with you. Half of Americans, anyway, if you are trying to penetrate a U.S. market, half of Americans live in cities. They don't need huge machines. They just need a way to get around. So I'm on your side. I can't wait to see what's coming next. Sounds like it is an incredibly exciting time over at Rivid. I know I have been keeping my finger on this company since about July. I check you guys out all the time, and I'm always waiting to see exciting news. Are we going to be seeing you maybe at like AIM Expo or any other motorcycling trade shows where people can see your products live and in person?
Yeah, uh, we're gonna attend every single electrified expo in 23. That's kind of our main circuit, and then there are other circuits that we're gonna be joining. We'll be at the one motorcycle show. I think we're doing a custom anthem there, a custom build there. We're gonna show up at different types of outdoors shows, but the main focus for us right now is actually just to get to production. Right? I think we're really heads down. We want to get to production when we said we will. So hopefully we can beat that and get the bikes out there. But yes, expect to see us really everywhere nationwide this year.
Well, I definitely will be keeping an eye out and checking out your social media and finding out where exactly you're going to be at. I can't wait to see one of your awesome Anthem machines live and in person and maybe take one for a test ride. Dong Tran, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jacqui.